Welcome to BikeBeat. We're taking a close look at Yamaha's revival of a legend, the 2026 XT600. This bike is more than just another entry in the dual sport market, it carries decades of history and expectation on its shoulders. Yamaha has gone back to its roots, bringing back a model that defined toughness and versatility in the 80s and 90s, while re-engineering it for modern riders who expect comfort, safety features, and a bit of style thrown into the mix. The original XT600 earned its reputation as a simple, durable single-cylinder workhorse that could ride trails all day, tackle city streets, and survive remote journeys where parts and fuel were hard to come by. In 2026, Yamaha wants to prove that a middleweight dual sport still makes sense in a world full of heavy adventure machines and lightweight enduros. The new XT600 is pitched as a bike that can really do everything: commute during the week, explore on the weekend, and carry you across continents if you've got the time. Powering the XT600 is a single-cylinder 4-stroke engine in the 600cc range, tuned for torque rather than high-rev thrills. Riders who've tested pre-release models describe smooth, predictable throttle response with plenty of low-end pull to crawl up rocky climbs or accelerate past traffic without fuss. Yamaha has fitted a balancer shaft to keep vibrations under control, so at cruising speeds the bike hums rather than buzzes. It's not chasing record horsepower numbers, but it delivers useful real-world performance that keeps the ride stress-free. The gearbox, depending on market, will be 5 or 6 speeds, with a spread that lets you handle slow off-road sections without stalling while still keeping revs reasonable at highway pace. Final drive is chain, of course, keeping things simple, rugged, and easy to service anywhere in the world. The chassis is built around a tough steel backbone frame designed to shrug off abuse. Suspension travel is generous, with an adjustable fork at the front and a preload and rebound tunable shock at the rear. The setup soaks up potholes in the city just as well as it absorbs rocks and ruts in the dirt. Wheel sizes are the classic dual sport combination: 21 inches up front, 18 at the rear, perfect for stability on the trail without sacrificing too much agility on asphalt. Braking is handled by discs at both ends with switchable ABS. On the street you'll appreciate the security of ABS in wet or slippery conditions. Off-road, the rear can be disabled to allow controlled skids when descending gravel or dirt. The feel at the lever is progressive, not grabby, giving you the confidence to modulate rather than fear locking up. Weight tips the scales at roughly 200 kilos wet, which keeps it lighter than big adventure machines while still substantial enough to feel planted on the open road. Ground clearance exceeds 1/4 meter, and the seat height is just under 900 millimeters. That means it's tall, as most dual sports are, but the narrow tank makes it easier to manage than the numbers suggest. Fuel capacity is in the 14 to 18 liter range, giving enough range for day trips and short tours without adding bulk. On the road, the XT600 feels solid and predictable. At 100 km per hour the engine spins comfortably with little harshness, and the upright riding position takes strain off your back and wrists. In the twisties it doesn't dive into corners like a sport bike, but it feels controlled and balanced, with feedback through the bars that encourages you to trust the front end. Off the road the bike really comes alive, suspension travel soaks up the chatter, and the narrow profile makes it easy to stand up on the pegs and move your weight around. The torque curve makes steep climbs and loose terrain manageable, letting you modulate power smoothly rather than constantly working the clutch. Comfort has taken a big step forward compared to the old XT models. The seat is more supportive, bars and pegs are positioned to allow both relaxed seated riding and aggressive standing posture, and vibration has been tuned down to a minimum in the typical riding range. After a long day in the saddle, the difference compared to the rugged old-school machines is night and day. Styling is where Yamaha strikes a balance between nostalgia and modernity. The bike has a slim tank and upright silhouette reminiscent of the 80s models, but sharp plastics, LED lighting, and bold graphics give it a contemporary edge. Color options include Yamaha's classic blue, a desert-inspired sandtone, and a retro white and blue scheme that pays homage to its roots. Lighting is all LED, from the compact headlamp to the tail and indicators, and the dash is a clean digital unit that shows speed, RPM, gear position, fuel, and ABS or traction settings at a glance. Some trims even offer smartphone connectivity and a charging port, useful for navigation and devices. Practical touches make the XT600 feel ready for adventure straight from the showroom. The subframe includes mounting points for racks and luggage, and Yamaha has accessories like panniers, engine guards, and skid plates available. The exhaust is tucked high to clear obstacles, and protection pieces like radiator guards and bash plates are either included or easily added. The overall package feels rugged without being overbuilt. Technology is deliberately kept simple. ABS and traction control are standard, and they can be switched or adjusted depending on your riding environment. Riding modes adjust throttle response and traction for pavement or dirt. Some versions even include cruise control, which is unusual in this class but very welcome for long highway stretches. Yamaha seems to understand that riders want modern safety without overwhelming electronics, so the XT600 stays approachable while still competitive. Price is another big factor. Yamaha aims to keep the XT600 accessible, with estimates between $9,000 and $12,000 depending on region. In some countries it may slip just under the $10,000 mark, positioning it well against rivals like the KTM 690 Enduro or Honda CR F450L, both of which often come in pricier. In import-heavy markets, taxes will drive the price higher, but even then the XT600 promises strong value given its balance of features and Yamaha's global reputation for reliability. What makes the XT600 appealing is its versatility. Riders who want one bike that can handle the Monday commute, the Saturday trail ride, and a 2-week tour will find it ticks all the boxes. Compared to lighter enduros, it's more comfortable and practical. Compared to heavier adventure bikes, it's simpler, easier to manage, and often more affordable. And compared to other middleweights, it carries the weight of Yamaha's history and engineering know-how. Of course, there are trade-offs. The seat height is intimidating for shorter riders. The single-cylinder character means some vibration will always be present at sustained high revs. Fuel range may not satisfy hardcore overlanders who need extreme endurance. And while Yamaha offers useful accessories, riders who want cutting-edge electronics or premium finishes may look to pricier competitors. But in the end, the XT600's strengths outweigh its compromises. It offers a rare combination of honesty, capability, and heritage. It's a bike you can rely on, modify to your needs, and take almost anywhere. Yamaha has successfully modernized a classic without losing the qualities that made it iconic. If I had to sum it up, the 2026 Yamaha XT600 is not about chasing extremes, it's about striking balance. Enough performance to keep you smiling, enough comfort to make long rides enjoyable, and enough toughness to handle whatever terrain you point it toward. For riders looking for one motorcycle that can truly do it all, the XT600 is a very compelling option. Thanks for joining me on BikeBeat for this in-depth look. If you enjoyed the review, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more deep dives into the latest machines, and let us know in the comments if the XT600 would be your pick for your next adventure. Ride safe, ride often, and I'll catch you on the next one.